In a world cluttered with information, where truth is power, Lawin Weekly News stands apart.
We delve deeper, uncover facts, and bring stories to light. From political showdowns and economic triumphs to the pulse of the street and the heart of the community.
We capture the moments that define us, stories that challenge, inspire, and transform.
Tune in live Sundays 8 a.m. Central Standard Time and Sundays 6 p.m. Central Standard Time.
These are Lawin headlines for this week. Texas ready to file for $11 billion reimbursement under Trump border package. AG Paxton issues alert over scammers exploiting Texas flood donors. San Antonio Zoo uses garage lighting to send support for flood relief. Trump hits Philippine goods with 20% U.S. tariffs, says relations, not reciprocal. VP Sara reveals Duterte's wish for cremation in Netherlands if he dies in Hague. Houston consulate hosts Gawad Kalinga delegation for development talks. Manny Pacquiao's next rival, meet Mario Barrios, the WBC title holder. BTS arrives in the U.S. to begin work on 2026 album and world tour.
Good day, I am Neska, and tonight we bring you the latest stories in the United States of America, especially in the state of Texas. So sit back, relax, and let Lawin Weekly News be your guide to the news that matters most. Governor Greg Abbott is formally requesting $11.1 billion in federal reimbursements for Texas border security efforts dating back to 2021. In letters sent to congressional leaders, Abbott cited financial strain on the state, claiming Texas has had to shoulder costs due to what he described as insufficient federal enforcement. The governor's request is tied to a $13 billion federal budget reconciliation package signed into law by President Donald Trump on July 4th. The provision allows states to apply for reimbursement of border-related expenses incurred between January 2021 and January 2029. Abbott says the funding covers a range of state-led efforts, including Operation Lone Star, a controversial initiative involving the deployment of National Guard troops, construction of border barriers, and increased surveillance along the Texas-Mexico border. As of now, federal officials have not responded to the reimbursement request. The Texas Department of Transportation has confirmed a data breach affecting nearly 300,000 individuals. The breach was discovered during a routine security check. The compromised information comes from crash reports and may include sensitive personal data. While the exact details have not been disclosed, TXDOT says protecting personal information is a top priority. Those impacted will receive written notifications by email. The agency has also set up a dedicated hotline to answer questions and assist affected individuals during regular business hours. In response to the incident, TXDOT is strengthening its cybersecurity protocols and consulting with experts to prevent future breaches. Officials are urging those affected to monitor their financial accounts, place fraud alerts if necessary, and stay alert for signs of identity theft or unauthorized activity. The Knights of Rizal Texas Area Foundation, or CORTAF, honored outstanding Filipino-American individuals for their achievements in various professional fields during its annual tribute to Dr. Jose Rizal, held at the Philippine Community Center Incorporated, or PCCI. The Dr. Jose Rizal Excellence Awards 2025 were presented to the following honorees. For the medicine, Dr. Lady Grace Monroy; nursing, Jaime Puspos; engineering, to Engineer Roberto Vicera; for entrepreneurship, Emmy Rhodes; for community service, Lady Joselina or Jojo Manlangit, and for arts or sculpture, Fritz Silorio. These individuals were celebrated for exemplifying values and ideals of the Philippines' national hero, Dr. Jose Rizal, through their service, leadership, and excellence in their respective fields.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for having me this evening. Tonight we have an event, a very important event of the Knights of Rizal, Texas Area Foundation, Texas Area, and of the of the Knights of Rizal Regional Command, Central USA. And tonight we honor the five honorees outstanding for their outstanding achievements in their field of endeavors. We have one nurse, one medical doctor, one engineer, one in arts, one entrepreneur, and one in community service. And we are very proud to represent them to all the people and to all the community, to all the members of the community in Houston, Texas. So thank you very much, and next year we will have another annual festivity like this, and we'll be awarding more Rizal Achievers Award. And thank you very much.
Attorney Mel Garaton, Supreme Auditor of the Knights of Rizal, expressed pride in presenting the awards to individuals who represent excellence across diverse fields. He noted that organization is honored to recognize these achievers before the entire Houston Filipino-American community. The event, attended by members of the Filipino-American community and civic leaders, also featured the participation of the Philippine Consulate General, represented by Vice Consul Tania Gaurano, who delivered a keynote address and administered the oath of office to CORTAF's newly elected officers. The evening closed with a promise to continue the tradition through next year's Result Achievers Awards, reaffirming the community's commitment to recognizing excellence and fostering unity among Filipino Americans in Texas. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton is warning the public about scams targeting donations for victims of the recent catastrophic flooding across the state. His office has received reports of individuals posing as fake charities to solicit money as residents and organizations nationwide send aid to flood victims. The floods have claimed over 100 lives and caused widespread damage. He urges donors to verify organizations using trusted sites like Charity Navigator, GuideStar, or the BBB's Wise Giving Alliance. Officials also warn against clicking on unsolicited links or giving personal information to unknown individuals. Reports include spam or scam calls, impersonating aid workers, pressuring victims and donors for money or data. Despite the fraud risk, state leaders encourage continued giving, but only through verified channels. To report suspicious activity, contact the National Center for Disaster Fraud at 866-720-5721 or visit the Texas Attorney General's website. Therapy dogs from Houston's Angel Paws Pet Therapy Ministry have traveled to Kerrville to support disaster relief workers and residents impacted by recent severe flooding. Led by Debbie Benningfield, the team made a 270-mile journey to provide emotional support to those affected. Kerrville experienced significant flood damage, displacing families and creating difficult conditions for first responders and volunteers. The therapy dogs have been a welcome presence at shelters and relief sites. offering comfort and a sense of calm. Many described the interactions as much needed emotional break during a time of stress and uncertainty. Angel Pause emphasizes that emotional support is just as important as essentials like food, water, shelter, and disaster recovery. The therapy dog teams are stationed at key locations throughout the city, continuing to offer assistance as cleanup and recovery efforts progress.
In a world filled with fleeting moments, there's beauty waiting to be captured. My name is Christian, and I specialize in immortalizing your most precious memories. From elegant weddings to vibrant events and timeless portraits, I'm here to make every moment unforgettable. Let me tell your story through the lens. Contact me today and let's create magic together.
Journey to self-discovery and mastery. Be bold, why not? Season 6 with MJ Concepcion every Monday 8 p.m. CST. Don't miss out.
Where every conversation is welcome at the table. This is Pink Table Talk with Dr. Carly D. Every Wednesday 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Rice, spice, and everything nice. Welcome to the Philippine food scene with Adobo Queen, Nancy Reyes-Luman of Commissary Kitchen. Every Thursday 8 p.m. CST, Friday 9 a.m. Philippine time.
Austin Wildlife Rescue is urgently seeking donations after taking in more than 200 animals displaced by recent severe flooding in central Texas. Heavy rains and flooding have forced wildlife from their natural habitats into dangerous areas. The rescue center is currently caring for a variety of species, including birds, reptiles, and mammals. Volunteers are helping with feeding and daily care, but the organization says it needs financial support to meet the growing demand for supplies and medical treatment. Officials have issued safety warnings and evacuation notices in the hardest hit communities, urging residents to stay updated on weather and road conditions. Austin Wildlife Rescue encourages the public to visit its website to learn how to donate. In addition to monetary gifts, they are accepting physical donations like blankets, food, and cleaning supplies. The television series Landman, set against the oil-rich backdrop of West Texas, has expanded filming to include several small towns across North Texas. This week, production was spotted in Crescent and Jacksboro, joining other locations like Benbrook, Rutherford, Springtown, and Irving as part of the second season's shoot. Fort Worth serves as the production central hub, with the main office based there. The city has also hosted key scenes recently, leading to temporary street closures near the Worthington Hotel and along West 5th and West 6th Streets. Created by Taylor Sheridan and starring Billy Bob Thornton, Landman explores the ethical challenges facing the oil industry. While anchored in Fort Worth, the series showcases diverse Texan environments from urban centers to rural towns. Filming is expected to continue in Fort Worth and surrounding communities in the coming weeks, bringing the second season to life across this rich Texan landscape. The San Antonio Zoo is lighting up its parking garage each evening as a show of support for victims of the recent flooding that devastated central Texas. Zoo officials say the display is a symbolic gesture to uplift the community and remind residents that they are not alone. Officials hope the gesture inspires other local businesses and institutions to show similar solidarity. In addition to the lighting, the zoo is continuing its conservation mission and exploring ways to assist in flood relief efforts. Residents are encouraged to visit the zoo's website for more information or to suggest ways to help. The lights will remain on nightly as a symbol of unity and hope during recovery. NASA's Johnson Space Center in Houston has deployed two WB-57 high-altitude aircraft to assist Texas authorities in recovery efforts after the deadly 4th of July weekend flooding in the Texas Hill Country. The planes took off Wednesday from Ellington Field to conduct aerial surveys of the Guadalupe River and surrounding areas, where over 120 people have died and at least that many remain missing. Equipped with advanced motion sensors, the WB-57s capture high-resolution images and provide real-time data to support search and rescue operations. NASA is sharing this information directly with emergency responders, including FEMA, the Texas Division of Emergency Management, and humanitarian groups like Save the Children and Give Directly. Many victims were children, including attendees of Camp Mystic. In addition, NASA's California facility is deploying its Uninhabited Aerial Vehicle Synthetic Aperture Radar, or UFSAR, to monitor river basins including the Guadalupe, Colorado, and San Gabriel.
Join us for a captivating new series where Lawin sits down with the trailblazers of the music and entertainment world. Discover the stories behind the faces and voices that shape our culture and community.
We will bring you exclusive interviews with industry legends and rising stars. Behind the scenes insights and get a peek into the creative processes and personal journeys. Artists and performers and their upcoming shows and events.
Stay tuned for more updates and sneak peeks. Follow us on social media and subscribe to our channel.
The United States has announced a 20% tariff on imports from the Philippines, according to a letter from President Donald Trump to Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., posted on Trump's Truth Social account. The letter cites concerns over non-reciprocal trade relations and says the tariff aims to address perceived imbalances in the U.S.-Philippines trading relationship. Details on the specific goods affected and the economic impact have not been disclosed. Philippine officials have yet to respond, and U.S. trade authorities have not confirmed if further measures are planned. Both governments are expected to continue discussions and explore possible clarifications through international trade channels. At this time, details on implementation and exemptions remain unclear as stakeholders evaluate the tariff's implication. Former Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte has requested to be cremated if he dies while imprisoned at The Hague. Vice President Sara Duterte said Tuesday. She added he wants his ashes returned to the Philippines and joked he would visit her if his wishes aren't fulfilled. Duterte, 80, faces crimes against humanity charges at the International Criminal Court over his anti-drug campaign. Sara Duterte said her father's request is a normal preparation for his age and that he still looks well despite losing weight. She also denied allegations that she and her father carried firearms during a visit to televangelist Apollo Kibuloy's compound, challenging the accuser to file formal charges. An aide confirmed Sara Duterte's recent trip to The Hague was personal and self-funded and that she remained engaged with her duties while abroad. Former South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol has been detained for a second time, this time over his alleged role in declaring martial law. The Seoul Central District Court ordered the arrest Thursday, citing concerns that Yoon could tamper with evidence related to ongoing investigations into charges of insurrection. Authorities say Yoon attempted to undermine civil rule on December 3 by deploying armed forces in an effort to seize control. He is now being held in solitary confinement near Seoul. Special Prosecutor Cho Yun-suk is also pursuing additional charges, including obstruction of official duties, abuse of power, and document forgery. This latest arrest comes just 4 months after Yoon's release from a prior detention on similar rebellion-related charges. If convicted, he could face a lengthy prison sentence. Philippine Consul General Gunther Salas hosted officials from the Gawad Kalinga Community Development Foundation in Houston on Monday to discuss education, food, security, and development efforts in the Philippines. The delegation was led by Father Bienvenido Nebres, former Ateneo de Manila University President, and Mark Cruz, Director of SEED Philippines. They were joined by Kalinga or Gawad Kalinga USA Executive Director Carl Tulod, GK Texas leaders, and Ateneo alumni. The meeting, held at the Consulate's Mabini Hall, marked the 5th stop in Gawad Kalinga's 10-city U.S. outreach tour. Discussions focused on using education and agriculture for nation building and highlighted the foundation's evolution from housing projects to leadership and capacity development. Consul General Salas also shared on ongoing efforts to build partnerships across the U.S. and discussed future collaboration to support development programs in the Philippines. Christian Horner has been dismissed as the team principal of Red Bull Racing, ending his 20-year tenure with the Formula One team. The team confirmed his departure on Wednesday, effective immediately. Horner, 51, played a central role in transforming Red Bull into a dominant force in F1, guiding the team to 8 drivers' championships and 6 constructors' titles. Under his leadership, Max Verstappen won the driver's title in each of the past 4 seasons. His removal comes amid a turbulent period for the team, following internal tensions and recent allegations of inappropriate behavior, from which Horner was officially cleared. Despite being exonerated, the situation reportedly caused divisions within the team. Red Bull has appointed Laurent Mekies as Horner's successor, signaling a major shift in leadership as the team looks ahead to the remainder of the current season and preparations for 2026 regulation changes. Boxing legend Manny Pacquiao is set to return to the ring on July 19th to face WBC welterweight champion Mario Barrios at the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas. The fight will be broadcast live on Prime Video pay-per-view, with tickets now on sale. Barrios, now known as El Azteca, hails from San Antonio, Texas, and will enter the biggest fight of his career as he defends his WBC title. Pacquiao, widely celebrated as Pac-Man, is a Hall of Famer and the only 8-division world champion in the boxing history. This marks his first bout since 2021. The matchup is expected to draw international attention as fans and analysts analyze both fighters' physical stats and styles. For Barrios, it's a chance to make a major statement in his career. For Pacquiao, it's a shot at adding yet another historic moment to his storied legacy. The bout is already being billed as one of the year's most anticipated events in the sport. Global K-pop sensation BTS has officially begun preparations for their 2026 comeback, launching a songwriting camp in the United States, their first full group project since completing mandatory military service. Big Hit Music confirmed that RM arrived in Los Angeles on July 6th, with Suga, Jimin, and Jungkook following on July 7th to start work on a new full-length album. Member V is expected to join after wrapping up Paris Fashion Week. Jin and J-Hope, who completed their service in June, remain in South Korea but are actively involved in comeback plans. On July 1st, BTS reunited publicly for the first time since 2022 through a Weverse live stream, confirming a new album and a 2026 world tour. The upcoming release will be BTS's first group album since BE in 2020, and the tour will mark the return to global stages for the first time since Permission to Dance on stage. Fans known as ARMY have flooded social media with support as the group resumes full unit activities. More details on the album and tour are expected in the coming months. Actress Catherine Bernardo and Lucena City Mayor Mark Alcala were recently spotted together at Ninoy Aquino International Airport, reportedly preparing for separate trips to Australia. Photos shared by netizens on social media showed the two walking through NAIA's international terminal, dressed casually and carrying travel bags. The exact date and time of their travel have not been confirmed. Sources familiar with the matter said both were set to depart for Australia, though it remains unclear whether their trips were related. Neither Bernardo nor Alcala has issued a public statement regarding their appearance at the airport. As of now, representatives for both Bernardo and Alcala have not responded to media requests for comment, and NAIA officials have declined to release any travel information regarding both. As we brace ourselves for the upcoming weather changes, let's dive into what you can expect day by day. Whether you're planning outdoor activities or just preparing for the week, we've got you covered with the most accurate forecast. Stay tuned with us as we take a closer look at the weather patterns that will impact our region. Remember, here at Lawin Weekly News, we bring you the clearest skies to the stormiest forecasts.
Here is your Lawin Weekly News weather forecast in Houston, Texas. On July 13th, Sunday, the high will be 93 degrees Fahrenheit with a low of 77 degrees Fahrenheit. Expect humid conditions with intervals of sun and clouds, and a thunderstorm in spots during the afternoon. On July 14th, Monday, temperatures will reach 93 degrees Fahrenheit with a low of 77 degrees Fahrenheit. Mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies with a stray thunderstorm. On July 15th, Tuesday, the high will be 95 degrees Fahrenheit and the low 78 degrees Fahrenheit. Humid with partial sunshine and scattered afternoon thunderstorms. On July 16th, Wednesday, expect a high of 96 degrees Fahrenheit and a low of 77 degrees Fahrenheit. Partly sunny and very warm overall. On July 17th, Thursday, temperatures will hit 94 degrees Fahrenheit with a low of 78 degrees Fahrenheit. Partly sunny skies and continued hot conditions. On July 18th, Friday, the high will reach 93 degrees Fahrenheit with a low of 79 degrees Fahrenheit. expect partial sun and clouds with a few afternoon showers. On July 19th, Saturday, the temperature will peak at 94 degrees Fahrenheit and dip to 78 degrees Fahrenheit. Variable clouds with a couple of thunderstorms in the afternoon.
So those were the latest stories in Texas this week. I am Nazca Santina from Lawin Media Network. Have a great day.
Lawin Weekly News.
Tune in live Sundays 8 a.m. Central Standard Time and Sundays 6 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Lawin Weekly News.